Amita, can you confirm is my screen visible?
Yes, Swati, it's visible.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining our today's event on a weekend morning. So, as you all know, that our today's event will be on GraphQL Wire Adapter in LWC, which will be presented by Amit Kumar, who is our today's speaker. Talking about myself, I am Swati Agarwal. I am working as a senior Salesforce consultant at Marlabs. I am 9x certified Salesforce developer. I have mentioned my LinkedIn and Twitter handle. You can reach out to me over the mentioned IDs. Along with me, we are having Sandhya, who is a co-leader of Kochi Developer Group. She is Salesforce architect at UST. She is 6x Salesforce certified application architect. Sandhya's LinkedIn and Twitter IDs are also mentioned. You can reach out to her as well. So today's agenda is that Amit will be talking about GraphQL, also its features and benefits, and how it is better than LWC LDS adapter. Also, I'll request everyone to please post your questions in the dedicated Q&A tab so that at the end of the session, Amit can take up your questions and he'll respond your queries. You can reach out to us with the mentioned our Twitter handle and LinkedIn IDs. Along with this, we have mentioned our Trailblazer email IDs. So if you have any queries, you can directly write to us over here. Also, if you want any specific topic to be taken care in the upcoming webinar, so please do write to us. We will definitely take those video sessions as well. So, talking about our today's speaker, Amit Kumar, he is a technical lead at SaaSworks. He is skilled Salesforce developer with over a decade of experience. Having worked for two prominent companies and successfully completed 55 Salesforce projects, his expertise spans a wide range of practical applications. One of his greatest joys is sharing his knowledge with other developers, and as a mentor, he had the privilege of guiding and empowering numerous individuals on their Salesforce journey. So let's embark on an exciting Salesforce adventure together, unlocking its endless potential and making a positive impact in the world of technologies. So, yeah, I'll stop sharing my screen and let's say you can share your screen.
Yes, yes, just give me a second. So, okay, good morning. So, thanks, Swati, for inviting in this session, and I am very honored to be here to present my knowledge, to share my knowledge. As Swati introduced me, so we can directly go on. Right. So, today's session is about
So your
well,
yeah,
yeah,
sorry, your
sorry.
screen is not visible to us. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I will share. I will share my screen.
Okay, okay,
Yes,
sure, sure. Sorry.
yes, yes. So we'll directly go on to the content. So today topic is GraphQL. So Salesforce has newly introduced this GraphQL API, but this API is not new. It's being used by other company like Facebook, right? So what is the benefit of? You'll understand, and how it is different from LDS, LWC, LDS wire adapter. We will also see in this session. So let me share my screen. So is my screen visible? Swati, can you please confirm?
Yes, it is visible. Also,
Okay.
there's a tab like hide is there. One bottom bar is there. You can just hide it. Yeah, this one. Thank you.
Okay. So GraphQL. So everyone. I think it's very new API introduced by Salesforce, but every one of us have used the REST API, right? So it's similar to REST API, but its features are very important than REST API. Means it is very beneficial than the REST API. We'll understand by example. So let's go through the pointers I have written here. So basically, GraphQL is a query language for API developed by Facebook. So as I told, it's not a new API. It's already being used by the Facebook, and it enables client to request only the data they need and nothing more. Means it it has the features. It will give only data what client request. It will not give more and it will not give less, right? So it's a very beneficial from the point of view of the bandwidth, and it from the performance point of view also. So we'll understand how it is how it will give only data we are requesting. So we'll understand through the example. In the last point, I have elaborated. It allows clients to precisely request the data they need from the server, making it more efficient and flexible traditional REST API. So in REST API, I will show you the example where when we do get the resource using REST API, we don't have the control to what data we are getting. It will give all the data. So for the data will not be required for the client, right? Client who is requesting. So unnecessary we are giving the extra data, so it will impact on the performance, it will impact on the bandwidth also, right? So how GraphQL returns only the precise data we will understand through the. So whatever you have the questions we can take up in the last of the session. You can either chat paste it over the chat, or directly we can talk in the last session of the 50. So types of operations in GraphQL. So GraphQL, what types of operations provides GraphQL? So query means we can fetch the data, right? We can read the data. So a query is used to fetch data from the GraphQL API. So this is equivalent get calls. So for example, if we have to get the data from the Salesforce system, Salesforce, or for example, let's say we have to fetch the account record using the REST API. So Salesforce provides the a standard REST URL, right? Through that URL we get the data. So similarly, GraphQL also provides the URL through which we can query the data from the Salesforce. So basically, Salesforce has introduced GraphQL as a REST, as a you can say that as a equivalent to REST, and it also introduced GraphQL Adapter for LWC also. So LWC can connect with the Salesforce and get the data. So there are two things: GraphQL API like a REST API, and GraphQL adapter like LDS adapter, which all we are using, right? Uh, we uh, we will connect whatever we are talking. We will connect. You will able to connect. You will be able to relate where once I example, right? Client can specify the exact data they need and its structure using a query. Like clients can specify which exact data they need, and queries are run synchronously. Means this synchronous call means once the client request and he will get the response, then they can do the further processing, right? So that is not a sync call. Mutation. So currently Salesforce is not supporting this operation. Mutation means we can change in the data. Means we can create, update and delete the data like a REST post, put, or delete methods, right? So but currently it is not supported in Salesforce, but the may it may support in winter 24 release. So we'll not talk about mutation. This session is only about the overview of GraphQL and its query. How we can uh, query the data from the Salesforce using REST API, like REST API calls, or using LWC uh, adapter, right? So other operations like subscription, so it is also not supported by Salesforce 8, but yeah, in my future release it may support. uh, Platform event type things, change data capture things ki clients can subscribe to certain events and receive data when those events occur on the server, right? So it is not supported yet by Salesforce. So we'll focus only on query part here. So benefits of using GraphQL. So as we talked, efficient data fetch means ki whatever we are requesting, it will return exactly those data. So it same data fetch, right? Single request, multiple resource. So if you have to, for example, if you have to retrieve account and contact record using, I guess, REST API also, and LDS adapter, right, which we are all are using, we have to do multiple calls to the server, right? But using GraphQL, we in a single request we can fetch multiple resources. Means we data of account, we can get data of contact, right? And other supported object also, right? Complex data queries. I'm working on I have worked on LWC adapter, right? LDS adapter. You cannot make complex queries in that. Even you cannot make a filter. In filter, you can only specify the record ID. Basis on the record ID, you can get the data. GraphQL, using GraphQL, we can define the complex filters. We can even get the use the aggregate queries. Means we can make the complex queries. We can make the complex queries. So I hope whatever I have talked, it's clear. Still now, I can see the chat. Yes, Prasant. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. Okay. So, yeah. So I am assuming you all people are sync with me and able to understand. Now let's understand through the example whatever we have talked here, right? So, Umesh, currently Salesforce is not supporting mutation operation. So once it is supported by Salesforce, so they will provide, basically they will provide the you can say that the specific URL through which we can create, update and delete the data, right? Similarly, in LWC GraphQL adapter, they will provide a corresponding operations type through which we can do the mutations, right? So currently it is not supported. So let's focus on query part only. So I have Postman. So through Postman, we all know we can test all the Salesforce REST standard APIs, even custom API. So let's understand first how REST API works. Means the current REST API works. So for example, if I have to fetch any account record, if I have to fetch the data of any particular account record, so I have ID of one account of my org. So I will not going to teach you how Postman works. So considering Postman is authenticated with my Salesforce org, and I am able to connect with my Salesforce, right? So through authorizations, I have authorization, I have already connected with my Salesforce org. Now I can make any API calls to my Salesforce org. So let's say, so for example, if I have to make a get call and get the data of my account record. So what is the URL? You can say that it's an instance URL, and /services/data/ version, then slash s objects. Let me call for, sorry, for reference purpose when I give the example of GraphQL. Yeah, so we are talking about the URL, instance URL slash services slash data slash version slash is objects slash account. So I have to fetch the data of the account, right? And let's take the ID of one account from my org. So let's say Amit one. There is one record of account, Amit one. I'm now I'm making the clicking on the send button. So if you see here, you can see I don't have the control of the what data we are getting. It has returned all the data, all the fields of that account. But I don't require this, right? So when we do the API call using a standard REST API provided by the Salesforce, and I am going to, if I am going to fetch the record of any object, let's say we are fetching an account record, so it is returning all the fields of that account. Maybe I am not requiring this all the fields. So what is the disadvantage of this? I am getting unwanted data, and if I am getting the unwanted data, it will impact on the bandwidth, it will impact on the performance, right? Now let's see example of how I can fetch using the GraphQL. Similarly, I want to fetch the data of this account record using GraphQL. So you can see there is a GraphQL and I go to the account by ID. Here you can choose under the GraphQL account by ID. Okay, and URL will be a whatever I have pasted here. After version, you can replace a subject's account and type GraphQL, and operation will be post. Okay, and let's and here you can provide the ID. So what was the ID of the account? Just a second. Now let's see what it has written. So can you see this? I will talk about the what I have provided in the request body, but can you see this? I have only fetched ID. So in the request body, I have provided only the, so this is the request GraphQL. And under the edges, under the node, you can focus on the node object. I have provided ID, name, value. So it will return only the ID and name field. Let's say I have to fetch another object, another field. So what is the field? Let's say annual revenue. Just a second. Name annual revenue. Right, it's fine. Let's check. Now you can see there. So now it is returning another data, another field. So whatever I am specifying, it is returning only those data. So isn't it beneficial than the you can say that existing REST API? It is similar, it is equivalent to REST API. The process is similar, right? Whatever we were doing with REST API is a current standard REST API. We are doing the similar process through the GraphQL, but the uh, but but the you can say that response is different, right? And when the response is different, it has the many benefits, right? As in key efficient data we are getting, right? We will if we get the efficient exactly precisely data, so it will improve our performance and bandwidth also. So I hope whatever we talked here, whatever we talked here, right? Now you are relating with this example. I'm just giving the overview, right? And if you get the idea, if you get the basics, so my only focus is that ki understand the basics, right? Okay, I'm not going to teach you some advanced things, right? But if you understand the basics, then when you get the requirement, you can decide what approach you have to take. If you are getting some complex requirement, but if you know the basics, you can easily work on that, right? Easily solve that requirement, complete that requirement. Okay, so now we have talked about ki how REST API works earlier and how equivalent GraphQL is working, right? Now let's understand using LWC adapter. So somehow my VS Code stopped working, so I am working through the this Lightning Studio. So I have already made one example, right? So let's understand. This is a very basic example. So first of all, let's understand the JS part. So we all already know what is this. So import lightning element, we already know what is this. So if you have to make a LWC component, we have to import the lightning element. And if we are going to use the wire decorator, we have to import it as well. Now, the new thing is that if we are going to use GraphQL wire adapter, you have to import this module from the uh, this uh, this uh, this module UI GraphQL API. We have to import this GQL and GraphQL. We have to import this from this. And once we import this, we can use using the wire decorator. So here is the syntax looking at the first time, it will like it's a very complex syntax, but no, but it is not similar. So what is where we are using the GraphQL this, then we are making a query, and under the query there is a GQL, and using this GQL we are making the query, and this is the name of the query. Means you can say that you can name anything here. Then UI API query, and here object name. Here you can define the filter. What so do can you do this using LDS wire adapter? I don't think so. We cannot do this. We cannot apply a filter using LDS wire adapter. We can apply filter, but we can only specify the record ID. By using record ID we can fetch the data, but basis on other field we cannot fetch the data, right? And under this there are edges and then node. Under the node all the data are coming. You can specify all the data, which data sorry, which fields do you need, which fields you need. So I have specified ID, name, annual revenue, phone, industry. These so 5 fields I have specified. Now once this operations done, we can handle it using property or function as like LDS wire adapter. So once we get the response from the wire operation, we can directly bind it to using property or using function. So here I have used the function data. So the response will come in the data, and under the edges node all the data are like that. So I have iterate through that, and I have assigned it to the one attribute accounts. And here on the HTML, I have iterated through the template for each, and I have specified account.name.value, annual revenue, fund.value, just like LDS wire adapter. But the difference is that we can specify the filters here. Even we can do uh, what we can do. Uh, Order by limit, whatever means you can make a complex queries here. So if we see this on the UI how it looks like, so let's see. So here I have made the alert. So if you see how the data are coming, so we can, so by using the JSON you can easily know how you can bind on the HTML, right? So if I go walk you through the JSON result, you can easily understand. Under the edges means edges is a collection. You can say that it's a list. You can say that it's a list, and it is holding the node and node object, and node object basically containing uh, all the data. So this is the first account record, right? This is the second account record, right? So there are only two records, right? Whatever, because I have specified annual revenue colon greater than, this is a GT. So there are so many you can say that keywords for applying the filter: greater than, equals, less than, so like that. So you can do some R&D key, what is that, those filters keywords. So greater than, equal, less than, like that. Okay, so only two records. If you see why only two records came, so because only two records have more than annual revenue 2000, whatever I have specified. So let's see if I specified. So on the UI you can see that there are two records have come, right? So I have binded the fields, right? So whatever fields have the value, they are displaying here. Okay, and if I, sorry, so if I change the filter to 10,000, yeah, something like that. So I think it will not return anything. So now changes are saved. Now let's see. So no data you can see here. Why it is coming? One data is coming. So however, what I think, okay. So this is matching with this data. Okay. So this is matching. Yeah. So this is a little greater than this value. So so you can see that this time we got only one record. So you can see that key filters are working, right? So if you get the requirement for from now, from today, if you get the requirement like that, and you don't want to use Apex to get the data from the Salesforce, you can uh, easily use GraphQL, apply some filters right here, and get the data without using the Apex, and get the exact data what you need. I hope you have understood this example. Now I will show you another example, query multiple objects. So I'm showing you the difference by so by giving the example, so you can easily relate what I have talked in the in my points in my presentation, right? So see the syntax. Just see the syntax. So here what I am doing, I am fetching account and contact as well. So similarly, you can fetch many object also. So I can you do can we do through using LDS adapter? I don't think so. we cannot do. However, we can fetch multiple records based on basis on record IDs, multiple record IDs, right? But we cannot fetch like this. We have to fetch the account record first five. We have to fetch the contact record first five, right? So similar to the previous example, here we have account and contact, and then we are, and what it is doing after this, once this operation complete, the data, the response will be stored in this property, and I have made getter and setter. So you know all already, right? Ki when getter, sorry, I have, so when getter calls. So under this getter, I am using the GraphQL property. So under the getter function, if you have used any property which is getting changed, so getter will call automatically, right? So get accounts, I have make one getter, and another getter is get contacts. So on under the accounts getter function, I am going through this property and getting the account data. Similarly, which we saw in the previous example, getting the account data. Similarly, in get contacts getter function, I am iterating through the contact records, and on the HTML, I am binding accounts and contacts. I am binding this property getter accounts. So I have binded accounts here, and account.id, account.name, contacts, contact.id, contact.name. So if you see this on the UI, so we can see this here. So here you can see account records, contact records. I hope this example also gives you some idea about if you get the requirement like that, you have to fetch. You means you have to make a custom page where you have to fetch the data from the multiple objects at the same time, and you don't want to use any apex. And even you have the complex filters you can apply here, and without using apex, by taking benefit of the GraphQL adapter, you can easily make a custom page and show the data. So there are lots of benefits. If we are not going to make a class, we don't have to write the test class. Means maintenance will be also easy, right? So there are lots of benefit if you get uh, if you do R&D on this more. If you go through the I think. Uh, Winter 23 release, you can go through that, right, uh, that PDF, so you can easily means you can easily find out what are other features are there. So, but however I have completed all the basics, all the basic things which is introduced in GraphQL, and now you have the basics idea about GraphQL. Okay, and I hope you all have understood the this example, uh, right, and the session. If you have any questions, we can take now. I can achieve account and contact by wrapper class as well. So, Vikas, can you elaborate one more in detail your questions? You are saying कि wrapper class, yeah, but if you are going to use wrapper class, we have to use the Apex, na. So I don't want to use Apex classes. By no, without using the Apex class, I am fetching the data from the multiple objects. So that was the main agenda for that, showing that example. Yeah, yes, Swati.
Yeah, because if you're not clear with the answer, you can please elaborate your question. And people, if you have any other questions, please do write to us. Why
Why
can't we?
cannot we use a wire adapter? We can use wire adapter, but I have shown you the difference. In wire adapter, you cannot do complex queries. You cannot apply filters. You cannot retrieve multiple objects data at the same time. you have to do multiple rounds, right? We have to call, right? So we wire adapter is not retired from by Salesforce, but I have shown you the difference here. What are the benefits? So basis on the requirement, you can decide which approach we have to use. Yes. Any other question? Okay. So we have some time left, so we can, if you have any questions, we can. Okay, so whoever have attended this session, you can give the feedback. Did you understand my session? Did you get any benefit from this session? So you can paste here. Yes, you can write yes. If don't, you can type no as well. So if you want to give the feedback using yes or no, that would be. And no one wants to give the feedback as well. Good session, thank. Good session, Tejas. Okay.
Guys, please put your feedback. It is really important for us also. Please post your feedback. And if you have any doubts or anything you want to understand it again, you can just write it here. It will take up again if something is not.
Hey
Because
Amit, I have a.
yeah, Swati because I think wants to
Yeah, yeah.
unmute himself.
I'm unmuting him. Give me a
Okay,
minute.
okay.
Can you hear me, Amit?
Yes, yes, because I can.
No, I'm Krishnamurti
Krishnamurti, yeah.
speaking.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm Krishnamurti speaking.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, I understand the purpose of GraphQL adapter, and you also mentioned that we can retrieve multiple objects,
Mm-hmm.
but you also mentioned something at the start wherein once we get the data,
Mm-hmm.
we can actually I'm not sure you can like pass it to another method. Can you explain it like once again as to what you're doing that,
Okay,
because the
okay.
syntax was confusing for me.
So, have you used LDS adapter? Means wire. Have you worked with wire
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah. So what I was trying to explain there. So this is the operation, right? So so just focus at this selected. So what it will do, it will give the result. After, behind the scene, it will retrieve the result, and whatever result will come, we have. So once we get the result, we have to handle that, right? Right. So we can handle using either property or function. So here I have used function. So the result will be passed into the function in the form of data. So here I have used function. But in this example, I have used property. So whatever result will come, it will store in this property. And by reading this property, I can iterate whatever data we want. So wire adapter, whatever data, whatever result returns from the wire functions, we can either store in the property or either handle it using function. So that is the syntax. I hope you understood now.
Oh yeah, so it's the same as the as how we do it for the wire adapter, right?
Right, right, right,
Okay, got it.
right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Yeah, so actually, Amit, my doubt was, as I said, that fine, I can achieve the same even my wrapper, and you told that yes, but here we're not using any Apex class. That's completely okay. But in the real-time environment, Amit,
Hmm.
whenever we wrote any project, we all depend upon a backend class, only, right? So like we want to achieve, we want multiple components taking fetching the data from one Apex only, right?
Hmm.
So on that case, Amit, this GraphQL, where we can use, for example, if tomorrow if I need to show to my boss this feature, and he do ask me the same question, like, we going to fetch the data from Apex anyhow. So what are the additional advantage of that other than these two things?
So, so for example, you are saying कि yeah, you have asked why we cannot. So in case, so for example, you have complex requirement after getting means uh, after getting the data, it depends upon ki what is the requirement. Even after, so for example, after getting records from the multiple objects, even we do transformation also in JS, right? So why we use wrapper? Means we use wrapper because we have to fetch data from the multiple objects, right? And then we have to do some transformation as well. That's why we use wrapper. If you have to fetch the single data from the single record, we directly bind with the objects. So we go for wrapper because we are fetching the data from the multiple objects. So without using wrapper class here, we can also leverage the benefit of GraphQL, because after getting the data from the multiple records, we can do the transformation as well in the JS part, right?
Yeah, but like
Mm-hmm.
my doubt is in real time again, if I need to show to my boss the same feature, fine, he just asked me the same question, that fine, but in our project where actually we using fetching everything from controller, so just showing one records is not our case. It will be like if we show one record, there will be, id passing through multiple sub components as well, right? So that is real time scenario on that, where I can convince him that GraphQL will be usable for me or usable for our project. That's my doubt.
So currently, can you explain what type of a screen you have? Means how the data is being displayed. Can you explain some?
Scenario wise, if I tell you, it's like I have multiple components over there, right? So,
Right.
in one component, if I click, that record ID passes to multiple components, and based on that, the details will show up of that particular record in the UI. Now, if I want to embed GraphQL functionality in that project to just show an additional new thing, new update, so how can I convince them that this will be add this part to this project? Like they will maximum say that fine, this data fetching without Apex, that's great, but anyhow we can achieve the same by doing a little advanced software also. If you give or condition. So basically, the REST API you call just input, you just put or condition. Based on that, they will just show up the SOQL result from the REST API. So what are the other advantages on top of that you achieve? That's my doubt.
No, so if you have the screens where currently where you have to show the data only, right, in the view mode, right? So there is no any other operations being performed like create, update, and delete. Uh,
Mhm.
so we can use GraphQL without using Apex, right? So you can show them the benefit. Without using Apex, we can fetch from the multiple data, and even we can do some complex transformation, even complex queries as well. If you have the very complex conditions to show the data, so we can do using GraphQL, right? We can so we can easily replace Apex classes there, and even
Uh,
yes.
mhm. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, please, please.
So, and even it will improve the performance of the page as well, because when we use Apex class, uh, so caching functionality will not be there, right? So and this by cache functionality, so this will also improve the performance of the page as well.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yes.
So, just adding on to that, Amit. So, if I'm not wrong, if we are using Apex class and
Mm.
like so from JavaScript, we have to make a call out to Apex. So we will have those round trips when we use the Apex classes. Whereas with GraphQL, it's direct, right?
Yeah. So for example, if you have to if you have to if you are using Apex classes and you have uh, very complex requirements, right? So maybe you have to use you have to do some round trips as well to get the data. But using GraphQL at the same time, by using single round trip, we can fetch multiple data.
Uh, Hello.
Yes.
Just I have one more doubt. Through
Mhm.
GraphQL, can I pass any of my random selected record ID also? For example, just you said that we have one LWC as well, in which we show GraphQL without Apex, right? So,
Mhm.
is there any possibility that we can select any of the Apex record, and that will be dynamic one, and that record ID we can pass to any other component also?
No, so currently, so I understood. So for example, what we can currently GraphQL does not support the mutation, right? But
Okay.
if we can fetch the record using GraphQL. After fetching the record, we can pass that record to any other component. And if you want to do some operations, we can do using Apex, or we can do using Apex as well. We cannot use GraphQL for that. But yeah, however, by getting the data using GraphQL, and whatever data we have got, we can pass it to any component, right? We can pass. But performing creation, updation, and deletion on those records, it will not be possible using GraphQL. We can use Apex there, or LDS adapter as well, wire adapter as well.
Thank you.
Yes. Sir, can we batch the query using GraphQL? Can we batch? Sasikant, can you explain? If Swati, if you can unmute Sasikant, we can.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Yeah, hi Sasikant. You can, I think you can speak now. Hi Sasikant, you can unmute yourself and explain your question. Okay, I think he is not able to. Okay. So I think Swati, sorry. So we can conclude the session if you have don't any question.
Yeah, I think everyone is clear with their doubts. So thank you so much, Amita, for taking up
Thank
this
you.
session on a weekend, and thank you everyone for joining. Hope this session give you some information and it will help you in your career as well. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thanks everyone.